Hello, welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you of an interesting underrated film. It's not too bad. It's a war film back in 1980 or 81. It's called Samuel Fuller's The Big Red One, starring Lee Marvin, Mark Hamill, and Robert Carradine. It's a story. Basically, it tells the narration of one of the soldiers that Lee Marvin is in command of. He plays a soldier who is known as the Big Red One. He calls the team the Big Red One. Where basically it's a series of events chronicling this squad and their travels from I believe in North Africa to Italy. And it's more of a character-driven film. And it's really the best way I could really describe this film is it's a drama. It's a character-driven drama of a bunch of men on a mission, guerrilla warfare kind of style movie. But it's probably, and I think it was released in the early 80s. I believe on a low budget. I think the budget was $4 million, and this is the reconstruction version, which adds 49 minutes to the original. The original is 113 minutes. The reconstruction version is 162. And really a series of events chronicling these soldiers and Lee Marvin as he shows basically any leadership qualities that inspires these men to continue to fight in this war, which is World War II, what the film is set in. And you see his methods might be a little bit unsound, but you see that you have this basic, this masculine figure who's really, in his way, encouraging his soldiers to push on in the war and to really, it's like a Band of Brothers kind of movie. A Band of Brothers, where you see their adventures from state to state, and it's really like a Dirty Dozen but more drama-based film. And I haven't seen much of Samuel Fuller's films. I think this is the first film of his work that I've really seen. And I have to be honest, I'm amazed by some of the quality and some of the production value of a low budget film like this, and it makes me really appreciate the scope, certain scenes. I think some of these scenes that happens in the film is very innovative. Especially there's a war scene where there's actually a battle at this little, and I think it's a little church. It's a little eating out place. You have a lot of people who, what's the word? Mentally challenged. And they have a war scene right in the middle of it where you have the Nazis and then you have the U.S. military shooting in between. And you kind of have them kind of just shooting up. And then you have one guy kind of going crazy with it, trying to just tune along with the situations. It's actually quite humorous, but it is taken as a serious kind of war movie. And I guess it's somewhat factual based on, I think, some of Samuel Fuller's experiences in the war. I believe it is mentioned that he served in the war. Really, I think it was one of those cult classic kind of war movies that kind of tried to recapture the 50s and the 60s through the 70s of trendings of war movies that lasted for a good, I think, 30 years. And I think this is the last of its era while leaping up into the Vietnam War era of war films. I mean, this film is a good war film, but it's not your typical, I would say, other World War II war movies back in the day. Again, this is more character driven, less of a Dirty Dozen, but more, I would say, more, it's more like a hangout kind of like war movie where you have a bunch of guys hanging out, hitting territory to territory and encountering some certain war sequences. And Mark Hamill was actually pretty good. I think this is another underrated. I think this is an underrated performance of his. I mean, he's pretty much second to the main star of the film, to Lee Marvin, and he's very good in here. He's very good. I think one of my favorite scenes of him is where, was it a Mangalier or something? It's one of those it's one of those little devices where it has a little pole that you attach to it and you rip it, it explodes. There's a sequence in it where he has to push that thing to basically, I guess, blind out the other enemy. And there's a scene in there where he gets struck in fear. Like he gets very fearful of what's happening. And Lee Marvin basically shoots near him to get him to continue on with the what they got to do of setting that device off, which was really something. I didn't expect that. Like it really makes you question Lee Marvin's character in the film, of his leadership. But it's more like a hang around masculine kind of like movie. It's one of those films I think you don't really normally see anymore for a war film. The Big Red One. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.